Good morning, guys. Toolman Tim back here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Tuesday morning, which means it's time for another Toolbox Tuesday review. And I got another good one, like always. You guys know I'm always trying out new products. I'm always looking for something that's going to make my life just a little bit better. Something that's going to work better in my handyman business, going to give me a better finished product. And you're going to laugh this week because I don't have the product here to review. I did a bunch of B-roll footage. I showed you some really cool stuff on... Anyway, we'll get to that. But I went to go pick up some more to do the review. I love the product so much that I wanted to show you. So, use your imagination. What I'm going to show you this week is the Touch and Foam No Warp Spray Foam. Reusable spray foam. That's what I like about it. So hang in there and I'll tell you all about it. Alright guys, real quick before we dive into the review, if you're new here, go to toolmantim.co. That's toolmantim.co. You can find my social media links there, everything there is to know about who I am. Follow me on Float, MeWe, Odyssey, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. There, I got them all. Become part of the community, share your knowledge with us because that's what we're here for. I love hearing from new folks joining their community every single day. And if you're looking for a recommended product, go by toolmantim.shop. I got over 100 Amazon products there that if you pick one up, it helps support our channel. It's products that meet the Toolman Tim seal of approval, stuff that's made me money or saved me money in my handyman business. Solutions to problems like paint spilled on vinyl siding or I got to hang a picture but I can't drill a hole. What do I use? Go by there, check it out, and support the content we create. And you know, I'm always grateful for that. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. So this week, you had to use your imagination. I forgot to save the old can. And anyway, doesn't matter. This was a product that I liked so much that I had to do a review on it. So, number one, use your imagination. There it is. And if I remember, I'll put a floating picture up there so you can see it as well. But it's DAP brand reusable spray foam. And maybe you guys are familiar with reusable spray foam, but for all the years I worked at the hardware build and supply sales business, it was a pain in the ass. You got spray foam, so this is how a normal spray foam interaction would go with me. I'd have to say insulate around a dryer vent, and I knew it was going to use about 1/3 of a can of spray foam. And I went and I bought the smallest can I could buy, or sometimes I'd go and I'd be like, well, that's pretty cheap. The bigger can's on sale as well. And then in my head I'd be like, yeah, but you have to find a use for it. So then the second step would be go around and find all the cracks and crevices in the house that maybe could use some extra spray foam. And if I thought of that ahead of time, I was one ahead of the game. But I would use it for my, the actual use I bought the can for. Then I'd run around like a chicken with my head cut off, putting insulation and spray foam in where I needed. And I'd also way over insulate everything because I knew, well, it's there, I'm going to use it, I'll be thorough, and then I end up cutting off half and wasting it. Or even better is, I'd be in a rush, I'd come home with a can, I'd fill in the one spot I needed and then realize, geez, I got to find a whole bunch of other spots to do this. So then I'd really run around like a fool trying to find all these places I didn't re-insulate things I didn't. Anyway, that being said, so when I saw this purple can of DAP brand, which I love a lot of DAP's products, I really like their really inexpensive caulking, works great. I thought, got to give it a shot. Got to bring it home, got to try it out. Now, to be absolutely honest, on the package itself, there's really not a lot of information. It says reusable, great big, reusable right there on the top of the can. But when you get it home and you read on the package, there's nothing there to tell you about what it means to be reusable. So I started scouring the interwebs and I found a video on DAP's website or their official YouTube channel. And it gave me a little bit of pause, but that's okay. Basically it said it's reusable for up to 3 weeks. So if you notice on the can, use your imagination here, there's a second little tip that sticks out. It's not attached to anything. And when you're done using the can, and I'm going to cut the footage here because I used it to do the outdoor, the new dryer vent piece that I'm using. I really like that. You guys will see a review coming up on a much better exterior dryer vent. So I insulated there. Then 3 weeks later, I came inside and insulated the inside around the pipe. And I wanted to show you that, well, anyway, here, let's cut to it and you can see.
Okay, well, we have a winner. It definitely helped to cut the end of the tip of the applicator nozzle off so that it went through well, but it seemed to run a little slower than it did. Maybe just because it's colder today, but it absolutely still worked 3 weeks later. To the point where, if you can see it, there we are. So we get the dryer vent all insulated around. Looks like our touch and foam, no warp, reusable spray foam is a Toolman Tim seal of approval item. So there it is. We'll go back to the shop.
So anyway, like I said, you've seen that. It worked. I was happy with it. It really did. So basically they recommend to bend that tip over, stick it down on the little tip that sticks up, and then when you're ready to reuse it, cut half the tip or half the nozzle off and get at it. Okay, great. Now I got a shorter nozzle, but it worked. And you'll probably see from the video there, it seemed to have a little bit less pressure this time, but that was okay. Now, one other thing I really liked about this was the chemical makeup, whatever you want to call it. It comes out almost pure white. So if you're doing some work that's going to be covered in a day or two, it's great because you don't have that nasty yellowish, orangish kind of looking stuff that's there. Not that people really care, but I like the fact that it's white. Now I did a test. I left this out. I put some windows in at my wife's daycare. I left the exterior exposed to the southern sun. And within 2 or 3 days, it started really yellowing. And after about a week to 10 days, it was as yellow as any of the other stuff. So it looks good while you're working with it, but once it gets in the sun, it will become discolored. Now, the stuff on the north side and the stuff on the inside of the north side is still almost pearly white. So I like that. So it's ready to be covered up. I trimmed it off. It trims really well. Now, when I'm doing these videos, reviewing some of these products, I always go through the Amazon reviews because sometimes it'll pique my memory and remind me, oh yeah, Tim, you tried this or you didn't try this. But honestly, I got to tell you, the Amazon reviews they remind me of, you remember those, early to mid 90s infomercials where when they wanted to show how good their product was, they always showed some dummy in black and white that didn't know how to use an extension cord or a hose, and they literally, they're the type of people that would fall downstairs chewing bubble gum because they couldn't do two things. And somebody would be totally wrapped up in a hose, and then they'd come back to you and say, oh, yeah, this is... Anyway, some of the people in the Amazon reviews, I think maybe they used to be extras in those shows because, honestly, I don't know. The biggest complaint that most people said was it made a mess. Now, you're literally using a pressurized can of foam that's made to expand and stick to whatever you insert it in. So what part of that don't you realize is going to be messy? Now, I got to tell you, the very first time I used spray foam, I didn't wear gloves. I wasn't careful. I didn't know. And I basically had to wait till the outer layers of my skin shed off for it to come away because it was stuck there for weeks afterwards. I'm sure there was products I could use, and I'm sure somebody will remind me of something, but at the time, I didn't know. So that being said, if you don't expect a pressurized can of expanding sticky foam to be messy, maybe we got some issues. There's stuff you can do to mitigate that mess, but you're going to find it. So, to give a product a 1-star review because you thought it was messy and sticky, well, whatever. Anyway. But as far as a reusable spray foam goes, this is good. I mean, 3 weeks. That way it takes the pressure off. You can do your job. And then in a few days when you have some downtime, you can think, oh yeah, I got to insulate here or I got to insulate there. I may down the road. So this stuff is back ordered everywhere right now. I don't know if it's, an issue with all the shutdowns or if it's just a really good product, whatever it happens to be. But, this low expanding DAP, touch and foam, no warp. What a mouthpiece or a mouthful of stuff to say there. But anyway, I couldn't get it at my local home hardware. It's not available on Amazon, at least in Canada right now. So as soon as I can get my hands on some more cans of this, I'm going to do a long-term, maybe, I don't know, what the hell, 6 months or something. We'll spray half the can. We'll set it aside downstairs in a non-extreme environment, and we'll give it a shot. And then I'll do a follow-up video. But I wanted to get a review of this so that I could show you guys the spray foam I've used recently. I've got some more spray foams I'm trying, so I'm going to let you know about those down the road. But this one I really liked. So if you've used it, let me know. If you've got other recommendations, maybe we can do a head-to-head 2 or 3 different types of spray foam kind of video. I would love to do that as well. But throw them in the comments below. Let me know what other spray foams you guys like, because a lot of my recommendations come from our community, and I appreciate that. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and if I give you some value in this video, share it out on social media so we can grow our community, guys. I always appreciate that. Anyway, Thanks for dropping by the workshop. You know I always appreciate your company. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.